The Gold Road for the Elder Scrolls Online brings with it an entire new system. Let's talk about scribing. Hello, it's Icy, that's right, back again with more new content for ESO. This time, scribing. So scribing is a new system of creating customized skills that your character can use instead of the standard ones that are provided. There are a selection of new skills that you can craft, and I'm going to give you a bit of an overview, as short as I can make it, as to how that works. Now, the first thing you need to do for a new character is to actually pick up the quest that allows you to actually unlock your ability to scribe skills in the first place. So right now I'm in Skingrad. I'm just down near the Mages Guild, so not near the entrance of the Mages Guild, but a little bit further along. There will be a quest giver here. Where this portal is now, there'll actually be a quest giver who will give you a quest that you need to go on to unlock scribing. It will give you some background of the story, you'll meet some cool characters who will be your guides through this process. You will need to do this on each character who you plan to have scribing on. This will be a multi-stage grind. I just want to flag this for you now. But yeah, each character that you want to have scribed skills on, you'll have to do it again and again and again. You might not need scribe skills on every character, perhaps just the ones that you mostly focus on particular combat jobs with, PvP, PvE, Infinite Archive for example. If you're mostly doing crafting, perhaps you can just ignore those ones. But let's go through and take a look. So, once we come through into the Scholarium, you will be coming in through that entrance after doing the quest. You come through and we'll go through into the main hall. Once we're here, you'll be given some information about how to actually do scribing. There'll be quest givers, they'll take you through some quests and they'll show you a few things. The very first, let me show you what we've got here. So as you can see, there are a series of doors. Behind each door is a guardian, and each guardian teaches you about a different aspect of scrying. So on a test character, so I'm here on the public test server at the moment as of the recording of this video. This all goes live in about a week. Very exciting and I can't wait. On the test character, you've already done the Indrix questline to unlock the first part. Basically, you have to do the Indrix questline to get anything going. So once you've done that, you actually have access to the first skill. There is the Netch, the Griffin, and the Dragon, and then one last door at the end. So, we have various things around here, but this is the main thing we're interested in. This is the actual scribing altar, where you can create new skills, basically. So they're not spells as such, this is not spell crafting, this is creating your own kinds of skills. I would say that this really is about taking perhaps skill abilities from other classes and allowing you to take aspects of those and bring them into your class, which is pretty helpful. So once you've unlocked the Indrik, you'll actually get this Wield Soul skill. You don't need to have unlocked the Soul Magic skill line in order to get this. You'll be able to do it even if you haven't. But it won't matter so much for this one, but do keep in mind having passives for the other skills will make them better. So if you're early on, it's worth probably getting this early on, but do, make sure you put the skill points into where you need them. Now, once you have been unlocked your first grimoire, so in this case Wield Soul, then you get a number of different modifications that you can add that do different things as you go down. Initially, you only have a few to pick from. So for example, I can either go healing or damage on this one. So we'll go damage. I'm on a Sulk right now. we can either turn it into a damage over time skill, or a heal over time skill. So let's choose heal over time. And then my final choice is either I can take Major Breach, reducing the enemy's physical and spell resistance, or I can take Major Resolve, boosting my spell resistance. So we'll take Major Resolve. And as you can see, that's going to cost me 3 ink to scribe this skill, the Luminous ink, and then we can equip this new skill onto our bar. So once you've equipped the skill, conveniently in here there is actually a testing area as well. So you can just run down here basically, through into the training room, and then we've got 3 training dummies that you can actually test your skills out on to see how they work. Are they any good? Is this helpful? And then you can do some testing. Once it's reset, you can leave, maybe modify the skills again, and try again. Now, it's very easy to modify skills. You just come back to the same spot, select your scribed skill. So at the moment we only have the 1, and then it tells me which one it currently has active with the little scribe, but for example I might go, well, that was great, but maybe I don't need the heal over time. I think I prefer damage over time, but I still like the resolve. So we're changing one of the 3 aspects, so it's only going to cost 1 luminous ink. So that's how you actually come back and change things. There is not an altar that you can put in your house, presumably, yet. I would not be surprised if eventually this does become an option. So, but for the moment you will need to come to the scriptorium, scholar, wherever we are, and scribe your skills here. Now, so we've just modified our scribed skill to a new one. Now let me take you on a very quick tour. The other way down here, we've got another room at the back, and we have 2 merchants. One is the achievement vendor, which I missed the first time I came here, and the other one is the chronicler, who actually sells grimoires. So you can see these ones I already know, and he's got the rest of the ones that I don't. You can also pick these up exploring the world. You don't have to buy these. As you can see, they're relatively expensive. Depends on what you're getting. But if you're just going to buy all of them, it'll probably cost you a little bit. Now, because I'm on a test character, I've actually just got them. And we also have all of the scripts. And we'll get these for after. Okay, so now, when we come back and have a look, you'll see I've actually got a lot more to choose from. Now, what you'll find is some of these should unlock just because. So, for example, if you've leveled your destruction staff, you'll probably find, like if it's fully leveled, you'll probably find you've got the destruction staff scribed line that you'll be able to access. So what we have is one for each of the weapon types. So destruction staff, restoration staff, one-handed and shield, two-handed, dual wield, and bow. So there's a scribed skill for each of those. Then we have 2 different soul burst skills. We have a fighters and mages guild and one for the alliance war. Now, I do want to point out in here a couple of things. So Vault is the bow one. Now, you might have seen from some of the videos of like the early release stuff, archers like doing this cool backflip. This is that skill. Now, one thing I do want to point out is the focus scripts change depending on which grimoire you have in. There is some overlap, but it's not exact. For example, the bow has disease damage, poison damage, does have taunt, which is interesting. Yes, this is another ranged taunt. But if I go back and look at, for example, the two-handed one, this one has bleed, has physical damage, knockback, but neither disease nor poison damage. And the traveling knife, which is the dual wield, it gets poison damage and bleed, but not disease. So there is some variation about what is available. The other thing that happens is, for example, if I chose pull on this one, then what can happen is some of these secondary signature scripts or even the affix scripts can be removed. So, for example, if you're choosing a heal, whether it's multi-target or single target will depend on the top skill. So there's various sorts of things that can get reduced down as you experiment. The thing I would say is just try some stuff. So put some skills in and then stick some other bits in and see if you get anything that you find interesting. So you can actually just mix and match as required. So some of them have cast times, some of them do not. So for example, 2-second cast time on the elemental explosion does quite a bit of damage, but it's a 2-second cast time. The Mender's Bond is instant, so that's interesting. It's a tether for the healers. Shield throw is instant, 0.6 on the two-handed smash, instant for the knife, and instant for the vault. So these are both instant. That's a 2-second cast on the torchbearer, and the Ulfsid's contingency is instant, and the trample is 1.5. So think about, as you're working in the skills, whether the cast time works for you. Maybe you want to look at the ones that have the instant cast time instead of the delay. For example, I'm not sure. I don't think I like the elemental explosion. The cast time really doesn't seem to work with my general rotation of how I play, but I really, really like the soul burst. I think that's an absolutely fantastic skill, and that's the one I'll be looking for. So in the same way that you get wield soul immediately as you come in and pick up scribing, I think soul burst is the last one you get. I think this is the one that gets unlocked all the way at the end when you've gone through the 5th door, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I personally have done the first quest. So the first quest, I've done the Indrix quest. I haven't just taken the pre-done character. I've actually gone through and done the quest as well. It takes about... So it's about half an hour. If you're listening slowly and taking in all of the information, probably about 20 minutes, half an hour for the first quest to get you to here, and about the same to do the Indrix quest. Maybe a bit longer for the Indrix one. And there is a bit of going into delves and killing delve bosses and stuff, so I think probably it will be quite busy once there's hundreds and hundreds of people attempting to unlock this. It would take maybe 15 minutes for each if you're just skipping through conversational options, so do keep in mind you are going to have to allocate a bit of time to actually unlocking this too. So a couple of interesting ones I'd like to show you. So shield throw. There is a taunt. Well, actually there's two. There's a pull with the shield throw, and there is also an actual taunt. So you can throw the shield and taunt the thing you hit, which is a really interesting option. Then once you've taunted, you could do something like Fence's Parry, perhaps? Deflects the next direct damage? And then maybe you might want to set the enemy off balance as a sort of a selection of things you could cast. There is a lot of really interesting stuff. It's not just damage. There's a lot of really, really interesting utility skills in here as well. So if we take off the taunt and we go back to the pull, so it pulls, and this is a taunt as well, it pulls them to you and taunts them if they're not already taunted. So why just taunt the enemy? Why not pull them to you, taunt, and then you can do something along these lines. So deals physical damage and bashes the enemy as you pull them in, or perhaps interrupts them as you pull them. Lots of really fascinating options in here. And yeah, not just straight damage. But yeah, my favorite in here is the Soul Burst. This is the one I'm absolutely going to be aiming for. I want to do the pull, actually. I want very much to use this in Infinite Archive. So I want to take a bunch, pull them in. Once they're all pulled in, I want to do a whole bunch of damage to them. So we might go with Lingering Torment, or, and this is quite interesting, and this is sort of part of the Soul Magic one, we've got a couple here that actually consume soul gems. So they use the soul gem to power the skill. So consume a soul gem to generate 3 ultimate every 5 seconds. Or consume a soul gem to deal 2.8% of the enemy's max health as oblivion damage every 2 seconds. And it deals 100% more damage to enemies under 50% health. So it's an execute. Very, very tempting. Very tempting to try that one as well. So, but I think we'll go with the Lingering Torment. And then, why not interrupt them? Pull them all in, deal a chunk of damage, interrupt all of the mobs. That's pretty nice. That is very nice. I'm very much looking forward to experimenting with this skill against mobs of enemies and seeing what it does for me. Now, of course, as you're going to experiment, for each skill you want to write, then you need your ink in order to be able to write them. There is a small chance for inks to drop from crafting nodes. So cloth nodes, wood nodes, enchanting nodes, that kind of thing. There's a small chance that a luminous ink will be a part of it. Now, the Netch. The Netch questline, once you've done the Netch questline, you have a higher chance to actually pick up the luminous ink. So it's very much worth your while to do the Netches. Now, do we have... Okay. So, no. So luminous ink is a craft item and is not bound either. So I would expect to see quite an interesting market developing where you can buy luminous ink of other players, or people who are not using it can sell them as well. I would expect that these will be quite pricey to start with, so it's probably quite a good investment to actually, if you're not really interested in this skill line, in which case, thank you for watching the video anyway, you might want to actually sell your luminous ink on to other players. So, and I'm actually unable to show you this properly, but there is a second system that's been added with the scribing, and that is to customize your skills. So you will see in here, which actually, no, I take it back, you won't see this in here because it's not working, because this is a test character and it's not on the actual North America character copy. As you do things around the world and have achievements, you'll actually end up unlocking the ability to customize the colors and appearance of some of your skills. Not all skills, a selection. Soul Trap is one. So usually Soul Trap is sort of like a bluey kind of color. You actually get a black version. The Destruction Staff, Wall of Elements, that can be purple instead of the sort of silvery blue, which is the normal option, which is cool. There are 22 new scribed skills, new skill customizations. And you'll pick them up as you go around the world just doing things you'll unlock. If you've been playing for a little while, you might find you've unlocked a bunch already. There are definitely a selection of these that are unlocked in the West Weald, in the Gold Road, doing things in the Gold Road. So by no means will you have all of them unlocked, so you will have to work towards some of them. But from memory, Wall of Elements, for example, would be unlocked for my characters because it's based on, I think, just if you've got a fully trained destruction staff, you actually get this as an option. It doesn't cost anything to customize it or not. You can either, it's just a little toggle basically in the interface, you can just turn it on or off as you like. And it's a cool new addition. conveniently in your collections actually shows you all of the skill styles that are available, as you can see. Skill stylist acquired by completing the skill stylist Dawnbreaker achievement, obtained by completing the final quest in the scribed line. So as you can see, it all describes in here different variants of the different colors. So you can have Meteor in orange instead of the icy blue color. So a bunches of different colors in here that you can actually customize your skills with. So lots of exciting, lovely things are coming with the Gold Road chapter for ESO. I am super looking forward to trying these. I do think it's going to be a bit of a grind to go through and unlock this for each character. I think probably feeling in a similar way to unlocking companions for each character. It might be a bit of the same, so I will definitely be focusing on my main sorcerer and my DK, probably as the first two characters that actually go through and unlock these, but the others will come afterwards. So, do you have any questions about scribing? I would imagine many. You can come and find me over at twitch.tv/ICYIC and ask me these questions, and I will answer them if I can. Don't have a copy of Gold Road, is not on the budget for the moment. Come visit me over there as well. I will have some copies to give away after launch. Not before, but once it goes live, I will actually have some copies to give away to the community, which is always fun, and those are thanks to Bethesda Australia and Zenimax Online. And I thank them very much for making me one of the ESO Stream Team and allowing me to give those things away. I really appreciate it. But super excited for the Gold Road. I am going to be exploring, doing all the things. Just in case you're worried about spoilers, I won't be doing any main quest sorts of things. In fact, not even side quests. Delve quests, maybe, on stream for at least the first month, because console gets these updates 2 weeks after PC. So yeah, so do feel free to come along. There won't be any story spoilers at all. I'm going to be mostly exploring. But thank you very much for watching. Lovely to see you all, as always. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.